There was a very respected man in his town, a father with 2 children. His home was a place of abundance, peace, and hard work. His children had everything they needed to live. However, the youngest son began to look beyond the boundaries of his home. In his heart was born a desire for independence, to live his own life away from his father's authority. One day, with a heart full of pride and rebellion, he approached his father and said, "Father, give me the part of the inheritance that corresponds to me." Those words were like a blow to the chest for the father. In that culture, asking for the inheritance in life was like saying, "I wish you were dead to keep mine." However, the father, silently and with a broken heart, acceded to his son's request. He divided his property between the 2 brothers and gave the minor what was due to him. A few days later, the young man gathered everything he had. He said goodbye to his house, to his brother, and went to a distant land. There, with money in hand, he began to live without limits. Holidays, nights of music, fake friends who surrounded him while his bag was full. He spent his inheritance on pleasures, on fun, on things that seemed to give him happiness. But the day came when the coins stopped ringing. The money ran out, the friends disappeared, the laughter was silenced. And to make matters worse, a great famine hit the region. The young man began to go hungry and in need. There was nothing left of that smiling and confident boy. Desperate, he looked for work. The only thing he got was to take care of pigs in the field of a foreigner. For a Jew, this was the most humiliating occupation that existed because pigs were impure animals. However, he had no other choice. Day after day I fed them and watched them eat, until the point came to envy their food. He was so hungry that he wanted to fill his stomach with the carobs that pigs ate, but no one gave him anything. It was at that moment, in the lowest place of his life, that something awakened inside him. The Bible says that he came to his senses. He remembered his father. He remembered his house. He thought, "How many of my father's day laborers have bread to spare, and I'm starving here? I will get up, go to my father, and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your day laborers.'" He got up and began the long way back. Every step was full of shame and fear. He didn't know how his father would receive him. Would you reject it? Would I humiliate him? Would you kick him out of his house? But while he was still far away, his father saw him. He had been waiting for her return every day, looking at the horizon, hoping to see her silhouette on the way. And when he saw it, something powerful happened. The father didn't stay still. He didn't wait for his son to get to the door. She ran towards him with all her strength. In that culture, an older man did not run. It was something embarrassing. But this father was not afraid to humiliate himself. He hugged him tightly, kissed him again and again. The son began to say his confession, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy of being called your son." But the father didn't let him finish. He called his servants and shouted, "Quick! Bring the best clothes and dress him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fat calf and kill it. Let's eat and party, because my son was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and has been found." And they began to celebrate. Meanwhile, the eldest son was in the field working. When he returned, he listened to the music and the dances. He called one of the servants and asked what was going on. The servant told him, "Your brother has returned, and your father has killed the fat calf to celebrate it." The older brother got deeply angry. He didn't want to enter the party. Then the father went out to look for him and begged him to come in. But the son replied angrily, "I have served you for so many years without ever disobeying, and you have never given me a kid to celebrate with my friends. But now that this son of yours is coming, who has consumed your inheritance with prostitutes, you have the fat calf killed for him." The father looked at him tenderly and said, "Son, you are always with me, and everything that is mine is yours. But it was necessary to celebrate and rejoice, because this brother of yours was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and has been found." This story is not only about a rebellious son. Talk about all of us. Because at some point we have moved away from God, looking for our own way of living. But it also speaks of a father who never tires of waiting, who runs to meet us when we decide to return. Maybe you also feel far away, carrying mistakes and guilt. Remember that there is always a way back home, and at the end of that path, the Father is waiting for you with open arms.